Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Well, Al Jazeera America says that investigators are very near a verdict on whether or not they're going to seek criminal charges against Hillary Clinton. Now, this was last night on a newscast. They reported that the FBI has completed its examination of the Democratic frontrunner and her private email server. They state that investigators are nearing the verdict. They're potentially James Comey, the FBI director, is going to be interviewing Hillary Clinton personally in the coming days. But let's take a look back. How serious are they going to take all of this? It's just, just some emails. She said it's just her yoga workout and her daughter's wedding and stuff. Let's take a look at the 8 times the Department of Justice under the Obama administration has let bureaucrats off the hook. So prosecution of public corruption has reached historic lows under President Barack Obama. It's a 20-year low, in fact, in 2015. So we've got an assistant U.S. attorney who was storing adult and child porn on a government computer, but the DOJ declined to prosecute. An unnamed U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services refuge manager violated anti-lobbying laws. He was writing a letter to Congress opposing legislation. Whatever. Then we have Danny Harris out of the Department of Education, the top technology official, using agency employees for his side business, failed to disclose outside income, and failed to pay taxes on that income for multiple years. Whatever. If that was you or me, we'd be in prison. We've got another Secret Service employee giving a shady promotion, former DHS exec breaking post-government employment laws, and of course the whole scandal within the Veterans Affairs and the wait time scandal where at least 40 veterans died waiting for care. That's not a big deal. And then of course Treasury officials soliciting prostitutes, taking bribes from bankers. And of course that's in addition to the Secret Service. And you know what? It's just another day in D.C. But speaking of letting bad bureaucrats off the hook, let's look at the D.C. madam. Now, obviously, she, in about 2007, she had threatened to go public with client records following an indictment on racketeering and money laundering charges in connection with her escort service. And then, of course, she was found suicided, of course. Well, now her attorney says that he wants to release some phone records that he claims is going to throw a kink in the presidential election. Now, he's been disbarred, but he's threatening to release one or more names on the steps of the Supreme Court, saying he thinks it's very timely and relevant to the political discourse. Now, Alex Jones interviewed Wade Madsen, who, of course, had been given information by the D.C. madam before her death. She said this information would have been of great interest to the 9/11 Commission and some of the things that her escorts were able to learn by overhearing, things that she said would have been very important having to do with intelligence that they picked up.
We are back live, ladies and gentlemen. Transmission continuing into overdrive. We do have Wayne Madsen.
Yes, hello, Alex.
Sir, we have Miss Britton clearly being murdered, according to her family. Now, Deborah Jean Palfrey said she would never kill herself, even if she was found guilty, that she would then name names. And I guess they didn't want the name being named. I would imagine, buddy, you are in grave danger right now. Wayne Madsen worked with the National Security Agency, lives in D.C., runs WayneMadsenReport.com. And do you believe, Palfrey, that she didn't know who these clients were?
I think she knew exactly who they were. As a matter of fact, remember, most of her clients were in McLean, Virginia. That was the center of activity. 13 years she had the most discreet escort service in Washington. She didn't send...
Why didn't they leave her alone? Why are they killing all these women? They're the ones that called them.
Exactly, and this is how they're cleaning up. They used them, and now they're disposing of them, and it's disgusting. Obviously, the agency, meaning the CIA, used these girls because these were professional, well-educated. These were not barely English-speaking Koreans or people from...
Oh, you think it's an intelligence op. You think these girls were being run by an agency?
I absolutely do, and I feel that I pressed Jean on that many occasions. She never told me, but of course she may have made an agreement never to say that. So that makes.
Oh, you're saying you believe she was working for a subsection of the U.S. or Israelis or Russians?
No. I believe McLean, Virginia, obviously is where the CIA is located. I believe.
But I mean, so it wasn't subsections. Well, you know, it's infiltrated. So you believe the U.S. government was running an operation against U.S. targets? Well, she said on this show that they were using her as bait to track people.
Oh, I believe that's true, and I believe they were, entrapping Middle Eastern leaders. We know that they were clients. We know that Cheney was using them not only for his own predilections, but also to entertain potential customers in the Middle East for Halliburton. We know that Cheney, I reported today, I reiterated that some of Cheney's top lieutenants at Halliburton and KBR, Kellogg Brown and Root, and we know about the sexual harassment of KBR people. This is an awful company, and so is Halliburton. We know about.
Well, it came out about the CIA head, Porter Goss, would go to the Watergate, where on one floor you had gambling, the next floor you had the quote free hookers. So it's just, I mean, why didn't they kill those girls? I guess they do kill quite a few.
We don't know that they haven't, because Shirlington Limousine that was delivering those women to the Watergate and to another hotel in Washington, Shirlington Limousine was transporting Pamela Martin and Associates escorts, the escorts that worked for Gene Palfrey.
Do you think these women have any idea how much danger they're in? That women out there listening, if you're going to be engaged in prostitution, stay far away from Washington and high-powered dignitaries in New York.
Well, with all the Trump rallies coming up, we know there are going to be a lot of protesters out there. And once again, we are learning that these might be paid protesters. A pro-Bernie Sanders Craigslist ad invites people in Wisconsin to protest against Donald Trump for $15 an hour. They say shuttle buses, parking signs, and hourly pay is available, of course, $15 an hour due to economic inequality. Now, if the ad is real or not, we do know that at least some anti-Trump protesters were recruited via a Craigslist ad prior to the Trump Tower rally that took place earlier this month in New York. And several people admitted that they had been hired by the Craigslist ad and they were paid $16 an hour for these protests. And of course, we learned that MoveOn.org was involved with this hiring, which is, of course, funded by billionaire George Soros. And, of course, those protests, which went violent, were then subsequently blamed on Donald Trump.
Please take a moment to listen to what I'm about to break down very, very carefully, because the information I'm about to lay out in just 2 minutes changed my life and changed the life of many, many people around me. I was a big sports enthusiast, but loved to eat like a pig when I was 10 years old up to about 22 or so. And I ran 6 miles every other day and lifted weights almost every day and had a great physique. Then I got into radio and television 21 years ago and got so busy in my work, I stopped working out. And everything was okay for 4 or 5 years, but then suddenly I started putting on pounds every month. And in the next 10 years, I gained almost 100 pounds. Then about 7 years ago, I began jogging, swimming long distances, and lifting weights again, trying to lose weight, and was only able to lose about 20 of the 98 pounds. I even changed my diet. I even increased the exercise. It didn't work. But as soon as I began to get the nutrients and compounds that I needed, my whole life changed. I've gone from 200 and almost 80 pounds down to about 220 pounds or so. It is incredible. And in just the last 3 years, Super Male Vitality, developed by Dr. Group for InfoWarsLife.com exclusively, and products like the Survival Shield X2 Nascent Iodine have just done incredible things for my body. I work out less. Even though I'm older, I've lost more weight. My muscles got stronger, my stamina, my libido, and so much more. The truth is, we went out to bring you the very best we could, true game-changing products. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today and secure your Super Male or Female Vitality and X2 True Nascent Iodine today, and hopefully start your journey towards living a more natural, focused, clean life. There's a lot of other excellent nutraceuticals we've developed, and also third-party ones that we sell at InfoWarsLife.com that are excellent. But the two game changers that I believe if you order them are most likely to really give you the biggest bang for your buck are Super Male Vitality and Female Vitality, and of course, X2 Nascent Iodine. Take the challenge, visit InfoWarsLife.com today, and secure your nutraceuticals. At the same time, know that you're funding the fight for freedom worldwide. Thank you for your support.